we saw an interview where Lex Luger talked about the fallout from Starrcade and talked about how everyone pulled their weight. And he talked about Ric Flair recapturing the world title. And he talked about Arn and Tully retaining against the Road Warriors. And then he sort of glossed over the fact that he lost the United States Championship to Dusty Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
But he basically says, I'm not standing in the shadows anymore. I'm going to be my own man. As you saw, boy, J.J. Dillon not really liking that language one bit.
Right.
It all comes to a head of that same TV taping, and that's what we're going to be seeing clips of today. This should be a fun show, man.
It's a big part of Jim Crockett Promotions history. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun seeing exactly how they play this one out, because there was no doubt that the Horsemen were the biggest faction in the NWA back then.
Right.
The biggest stars in Jim Crockett Promotion. Yeah, Dusty on one side, Nikita on the one side, but really the whole promotion was based on the Horsemen. And I get to thinking about that, and I think back when they all said that Dusty had the big ego and Dusty always put himself over, and we talked about how last week we talked about how Lex Luger should have won the Bunkhouse Stampede and didn't, and that was a mistake. But the fact was that Dusty helped through his booking, and obviously the talent of Flair and Tully and Arn and even Ole back then and Barry Windham, especially Tully, Flair, and Arn, because they were the constants.
Yeah.
They were the biggest stars that we had, and thanks to their abilities and Dusty's booking, that's the way it was. So this is cool. This would be good to see this. I don't know why Dusty made that change. When I think about it,
with Lex Luger, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, maybe he thought he needed. Let's remind everybody we're still trying to find a replacement for Magnum TA.
Right.
And I'm not saying Lex is going to be it, but I am saying this is around the same time that you guys are going to purchase the UWF, and you start to see Sting having enhancement matches. He's no longer a part of a trio that we had seen him with a lot of times on the Watts presentation.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we're thinking, all right, with Magnum down, and we tried the babyface Nikita thing. Maybe we need some more on the good guy column.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's the reason that we see more Lex and Sting here. Do you think those were Dusty calls or Flair calls?
I always think it was Dusty calls. I mean, I know Flair had an input, but Dusty had the final word.
Well, I mean, it's been said that Flair made them both. So you don't think Flair could have asked Dusty for him?
Yeah, he could have.
Let me work with that guy, sort of thing.
Yeah, he could have. I mean, we all thought at the time, and I guess we can get into it once we start rolling tape, but we thought at the time that he was put in this position to become the man,
Yeah.
win the Bunkhouse Stampede, but that was not it. So